We live in a world that celebrates the outgoing, the loud, the constantly connected. It's easy to feel like something is wrong if you don't fit that mold. If you prefer quiet evenings at home to bustling parties, you might be met with concern. People might ask, "Are you okay? Are you lonely?" This societal pressure can make those who cherish solitude feel misunderstood. It can even make them question themselves. But what if this view of solitude is too simplistic? What if, instead of being something to fear, solitude holds a unique power? Many people throughout history have found solace, creativity, and even enlightenment in their own company. Think of artists, writers, and thinkers who produced their greatest works in solitude. Could it be that we've lost sight of the value of being alone? The truth is, solitude is not inherently negative. It's not synonymous with loneliness, though the two are often conflated. Understanding this difference is crucial to appreciating the depth and complexity of the human experience. It allows us to see the value in all personality types, from the life of the party to the quiet observer. This essay delves into the reasons why some people choose self-imposed isolation. We'll explore the multifaceted nature of solitude, examining its psychological effects and potential mental health impacts. We'll also look at cultural examples like Japan's hikikomori phenomenon, which offers a unique perspective on social withdrawal. By the end, I hope to offer a balanced view of solitude, acknowledging both its challenges and its remarkable gifts. Before we go any further, let's define our terms. Solitude and loneliness are not interchangeable. They are distinct experiences, each with its own set of characteristics and consequences. Loneliness is an unpleasant feeling of emptiness and isolation. It stems from a lack of meaningful connection with others. It can manifest as a yearning for companionship, a feeling of not belonging, or a sense of being misunderstood. Solitude, on the other hand, is a state of being alone without feeling lonely. It's a deliberate choice to spend time with oneself, free from external demands or distractions. Solitude offers space for introspection, creativity, and personal growth. It allows us to connect with our inner world, to hear our own thoughts and feelings without interference. Imagine sitting in a quiet room, sunlight streaming through the window, lost in a good book. Or perhaps you're walking in nature, surrounded by trees and birdsong, your mind free to wander. These experiences can be profoundly enriching, even if they are solitary. They allow us to recharge, to process our emotions, and to return to the world feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. However, the line between solitude and loneliness can be blurry. What starts as a deliberate choice to be alone can sometimes morph into unwanted isolation. This is particularly true if we're not careful to maintain a healthy balance between solitude and social connection. Someone who has always been drawn to solitude, I can attest to its power and its challenges. From a young age, I found solace in my own company. While other children were eager to play together, I was content to spend hours alone in my room, lost in books or daydreams. This wasn't because I disliked other people, but because I found a deep sense of peace and contentment in my own thoughts. I remember spending countless hours in the library, surrounded by books, feeling a sense of belonging that I didn't always find in social situations. The quiet hum of the fluorescent lights, the smell of old paper, the weight of knowledge contained within those shelves. It was a sanctuary for me. In those moments, I wasn't lonely. I was surrounded by the voices of countless authors, their stories and ideas keeping me company. Even now, as an adult, I carve out time for solitude whenever I can. It might be a quiet morning walk, a few hours alone in my writing nook, or simply a long bath with a good book. These moments of solitude are not a luxury for me, they are essential for my well-being. They allow me to recharge, to process my experiences, and to connect with my creative energy. However, I've also experienced the potential downsides of solitude. There have been times when my desire for alone time has tipped over into isolation, leaving me feeling disconnected from the world and the people in it. It's a delicate balance, one that requires constant awareness and adjustment. Here's the paradox. Even as we crave connection, we also crave solitude. We are social creatures wired for relationships and belonging. Yet we also need time alone to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves. This tension between our need for connection and our need for solitude can be difficult to navigate. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we have to choose one or the other. But what if the key to a fulfilling life lies in embracing both? What if the secret is not to deny our need for solitude or our need for connection, but to find a way to honor both in a way that feels authentic to us? This is where self-awareness becomes crucial. We need to understand our own rhythms, our own needs for connection and solitude, and create a life that allows us to move fluidly between these two states. This might mean scheduling regular alone time, just as we schedule appointments and social engagements. It might mean setting boundaries with others, politely declining invitations when we need time to ourselves. It might also mean being more intentional about the time we do spend with others, choosing quality over quantity, and surrounding ourselves with people who understand and respect our need for solitude. The challenge of balancing intimacy and distance is beautifully illustrated in a parable known as the Hedgehogs Dilemma. This parable, often attributed to philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, tells the story of a group of hedgehogs huddled together for warmth on a cold winter day. As they draw closer, their sharp quills prick each other, causing pain and forcing them to move apart. But as they move apart, they begin to feel the cold again and are drawn back together. This cycle of closeness and distance, comfort and pain repeats itself, leaving the hedgehogs caught in a frustrating dilemma. The Hedgehog's Dilemma perfectly captures the delicate dance we all face in our relationships. We crave closeness and intimacy, but we also fear vulnerability and potential hurt. We worry about being hurt, rejected, or even engulfed by others, so we hesitate to let people in too close, often keeping them at arm's length to protect ourselves. This tendency is particularly pronounced in those who cherish solitude. We might find it easier to connect with others from a distance to maintain a certain level of emotional detachment. This isn't necessarily a bad thing.